Welcome back, everyone. What a great conference we've had today. Really excited to introduce our last presenter. We have the Sustainable Green Team Limited. It's a leading provider of environmentally conscious solutions in the arbor care, disposal, and recycling industry. The company is a wholesale manufacturer and supplier of wood-based mulch, soil, and lumber products, selling directly to mass merchandisers, home centers, hardware stores, nurseries, and garden centers. The company also provides arbor care and storm recovery services at the residential, commercial, and municipal levels while offering green waste solutions to large and small-scale waste disposal and recycling companies located throughout the southeastern United States. Recently, the Sustainable Green Team entered into a partnership with Australia-based company VRM Biologic, taking SGTM from a national company to global. Let's watch this video by SGTM. Cue the video.
Sustainable Green Team is working in various industries on sustainable solutions. And with me is the CEO, Tony Raynor. Talk more about the company. So, Tony, let's just start. What is Sustainable Green Team and what are the components of it?
One of its subsidiaries is a 35-year pioneer in the industry. They were the first ones in the market 35 years ago that innovated colored mulch and the technology to take natural iron oxide pigments, be able to make them adhere to fiber. This one innovation pioneered the safe recycling of wood fibers by millions of Americans. In California, we're looking at a 1,200-year mega drought, a drought like we've never seen before. The world has famines that are going on, and we partnered up with VRM Biologic, and they have a revolutionary process that we partnered with, so we're able to take our wood fiber and that same pioneered engineering development that we had with making colored mulch to adhere this catalyst to be able to manufacture water within organics.
It started out originally as a conversation about mulch. We've moved to understand the importance of what we're going to be doing together in terms of food security, ensuring that there is that available healthy food. In times like we're currently seeing, where we're looking at whole countries, whole continents being on the edge of declaring famine, looking at continuously degraded soils that we're still trying to grow food in, often failing in that endeavour, to be able to partner with someone who will allow us to realise our mission and our dreams as well, you know, it's just critical and part of the reason we're alive.
Something I learned a long time ago, you know, when you're a leader and you're leading something, you're not looking for followers. You're looking to make more leaders and to build. And so with us, we look for these partnerships, and there's different people that are into composting or organic waste, and so we're able to teach them a different way of processing that is less carbon footprint, making something that has more of a purpose. And so it's exciting to be a part of that. And I take a look at this. It doesn't matter whether you're left or you're right. Everybody deserves to eat.
We stimulate the mechanism for manufacture of water. Without water, there's no life. We learnt where water comes from. We learnt how to remanufacture it when it goes away. That system is sufficient to keep things going. Beside that, there are other little things like phosphate. There are other little things like nitrogen. You can add them together, but if you didn't have any water, you wouldn't be here. So we learnt how to trigger the system that makes water and all the things downstream, literally, of water. That's it.
Here you have this 35-year pioneer in this industry here in America, and then you have a 35-year company that's made a discovery that took 35 years to build to where they are today, that's already making a difference in 17 different countries. And now we're taking two 35-year-old companies working together. There's just such an excitement. Even within our organization, we have some of our team members that have been with us 30 plus years. And they're excited and they have a second wind to be a part of this because they started something. And now this new generation's coming in, and the wealth of knowledge that's being transferred over, we just see a massive, it's maybe a paradigm shift.
All right. Please welcome the CEO of the Sustainable Green Team, Tony Raynor, along with President and founder of VRM Biologic, Ken Bellamy, and CEO of VRM Biologic, Kelly Walters. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Awesome. Thanks for having us. This is a great opportunity, and we're excited to do this presentation together with you guys.
All right. Take it away. The floor is yours.
All right, awesome. So we're just going to kind of work together here and collaborate. We've got an incredible partnership that we have brought together. The Sustainable Green Team has really been founded on solutions and recycling. And as you've seen in the video there, we talk about, how our subsidiary was a 35-year pioneer in the industry and how it really revolutionized the recycling in America. And we were able to manufacture wood products, in a different way. And we really pioneered into the colored wood market. And so we were able to take iron oxide and be able to adhere it to wood fibers and to provide a service that would end up being distributed throughout the whole entire United States. And so with the Sustainable Green Team and its subsidiaries working together, we built an incredible model of a vertically integrated company. And so having a company that's vertically integrated really allows us to handle wood waste and fibers, from taking things that would normally go into a landfill and be a waste and have no use, and really be able to end up becoming a useful product. And so working together with our team that we have, we a little over 250 employees throughout the nation, and we have a very diverse group together. And now adding the partnership with VRM has given us an opportunity to take that same pioneered engineering and development of handling wood waste, and now taking a technology and adding it together to make a difference, globally. And so we're excited here to be together, and we'll do some interacting and just kind of go through our business model. And we have a little bit. You guys will be able to download, I believe, our presentation that you can take a look at anytime and be able to really get to know who we are through a lot of our social media outlets. We have an incredible YouTube page where we have a lot of information that you can, on your time, really be able to take a look at what we're doing and the impact that we're making, globally. If you were to take a look at our timeline on our graph, the company, had really got accelerated just in these past couple of years. After 35 years of having all this development, just in the past couple of years, have really set up to make a bigger difference, even throughout expanding globally. And some of our subsidiaries work together, like National Storm Recovery and Mulch Manufacturing and the Fiber International, and now the VRM. Together, these companies hand in hand work together through the vertical integration. We have our products that are known throughout the whole country, well over 20 different trademarked products. They're household names that are through Lowe's and Home Depot and different garden centers throughout the nation. And our company is really set up to have a strong distribution that we've really pioneered in the very beginning with manufacturing our products and actually moving them through the country on rail. And our recent partnership with VRM, I'll let them jump in and have some discussion about the technology and discoveries that they've made and how it's going to work together with our company.
Thanks, Tony. So we're really excited. The premise of our company is that we make use of unused organic residues to manufacture high value ameliorants for soil to help the growth of topsoil. So it was a natural fit for us to find somebody who has access to lots and lots of that kind of media, and to add a technology to that that gives it a value greater than what it has in its own right, and also just essentially keys on what Sustainable Green Team has been doing now for 35 years. Everybody buys mulch. When you put mulch on the ground, what you do is you stop the water from leaving the ground. The purpose of it is to keep the soil covered and keep it moist underneath it. Well, add to that our capacity to actually grow water using some more of the same wood waste to incubate a mechanism that catalyzes water production in the soil. Then the mulch on the top keeps the moisture in that we've manufactured in the soil underneath. That's a really good story now here in the US.
So you take the technology that even in the the equipment that our company, when we pioneered into making colored mulch, there wasn't colored mulch machines out there for sale. We had to engineer and build these machines ourselves and learn how to adhere iron oxide, into wood fiber. And so that same method that we use to do that actually works hand in hand together with getting the catalyst onto the fibers to make humusol.
One of the really important things for me is that through your market share, Tony, you guys have been able to go across the US.
So that means every person in the US is able to participate in recycling material that would otherwise end up as a carbon emission. So first step is that everybody can participate in it. Secondly, the way that they're participating is actually helping. Right now, the US is facing a long-term drought. Lots of areas, the cities, anybody that lives in the cities in the southwest, I'm sure now, is aware of restrictions on irrigation in your home garden. So one of the key primary targets of this partnership is to offer a solution to people who can't keep their lawn green because they can't water it. To add the humus soil made from the same kind of things as the mulch was made, and use that as a way to generate moisture that didn't fall out of the sky when it's not coming out of the sky.
I think you hit a key too. We're talking about sequestering carbon through this process. It's a zero net carbon release. And a lot of companies that have been doing composting are really not helping the environment other than using the groundswell process now. It's important for people to understand that there is a better method and way to help our environment. We have a duty to our environment to do the right thing.
Different times, knowledge moves along, moves ahead. Lots of people have been involved in the composting process now for all over the planet. It's been the thing that you do with organic materials is you compost it. Sadly, composting as a mechanism generates a biological process which oxidizes carbon and sends it into the sky. Sadly, that's a feature of that composting process. Some years back, a couple of decades ago, we were asked to find another way to process the organics, but not lose it to the sky. And so we did that. We found a different set of biological reactions. We implemented mechanisms and patented methods that allowed the conversion of the organic material into something that could be applied to soil, and did so safely, but didn't have the net carbon emission. And that's the process that we've now, that's now licensed to SGTM in the US to use in their own facilities and also to spread into new places.
And part of the deal with SGTM is to offer you guys exclusivity for any kind of containers underneath the 1 cubic yard volume, which I think is fantastic to have all American households be able to know the quality of the product that they're going to be able to get from you and where they get it. They all get it from the same place.
Yeah, that's good. With our company already having distribution into big box for 30 plus years, we already have the experience and the knowledge and the understanding on distribution and transportation and the things that go along with that. So our team has got 35 years of experience. And so we're not trying to figure this thing out. We already have a mechanism that is proven to work for years. Now we're really adding something that's bringing even more purpose into the industry. And being a leader in wood waste and recycling, it's always been a mission and a goal of ours to be able to make a difference and to take the pressure off of landfills And some of our sites, as we get further into, looking onto the presentation, we're actually recycling on a landfill. We're actually taking waste that would be a harm to the environment, and we're recycling that waste and actually making a very good usable end-use product.
So taking that capacity to actually not let something go into a landfill site, to process it in a way that doesn't create a net carbon emission, and then to package that with a benefit that later on helps soil not lose the moisture and make more moisture, and helps the soil sequester carbon by itself. So when you put all those things together and you add to that the distribution channel, sustainability is a partnership. There's no way that anybody can do the whole job by themselves. So getting together like that, it's a really good thing.
And really, it's a process too of education that people are learning that there is better new techniques and new technologies that are really advancing to be able to make a difference. We already know now that even America in some areas are facing a mega drought, like in California, 1,200-year worst mega drought that's ever been seen. And we have these different solutions that we can actually mitigate and to be able to help restore, the land that has been depleting for years and years and years. And one of the things that I believe is going to really help educate, to the masses is our partnership that we have, through XL Media International. And to be able to be on Newsmax and Bloomberg and Fox and New to the Street, it's a powerful asset that we have that we're able to really get the word out and educate people.
When people hear things these days from a number of different directions. But when something's been developed, it's good to hear about it from the kinds of educative programs that you're talking about. But, also it's good for people to experience themselves. So getting a bucket in your own house and putting your own hands into a product and using it and seeing what happens yourself, that's the best way to learn. You can hear the theory, you can learn about something that's new, but if you can touch it, feel it, see it, and experience the value, that's a great way for knowledge to enter into an economy.
And to have a company like VRM Biologic that has 35 years into these discoveries and working through all these amazing patents throughout the world and having a global impact and, taking that company and working together with SGTM, you look at the tangible assets that our company has and all the years of experience of doing this, what we have is scalable. I mean, if you take a look at where we've taken this company, even like I said, in these past couple of years, it's really expanded. In our partnership, $80 million in inventory and catalyst.
Yeah, so the discussion around building sustainability into an economy to stabilize again, production of food, to stabilize the management of resources in the face of changes in weather. That's a very big discussion. You need a very big impact to do that. There's a lot of talk about impacts. But here's a real one. SGTM's been making sure that wood didn't go to the atmosphere for a long time, for decades. VRM Biologic went out to look for ways to rebuild soil, and just by coincidence, we use wood fibers to deploy that technology onto soil. So that kind of mechanism of shared learning and shared capacity, that's what gets big jobs done.
And speaking of that, logistical capacity. So SGTM has incredible equipment and an incredible asset base.
We don't think that's just for here. If you're able to, when a storm like Hurricane Ian hits, if you're able to mobilize a team of vehicles and go and collect what falls on the ground and make sure that doesn't get taken to a landfill site and process that, that means you've got mobile capacity. We think that is something that the whole world needs, not just the US, not just Florida. We think the capacity to handle a major issue, millions of cubic yards, to handle that kind of an issue safely, efficiently, and have that quickly be available back into the economic cycles that made the soil work in the first place. That's a real advantage in this partnership.
and you take a look at the assets that we have, they're very unique. We have such a unique situation. When you take a look at recycling, it takes the right strategic planning, engineering, permitting, environmental, to be able to have as many facilities as we have, hundreds of acres throughout the U.S. that's permitted and have been able to comply with regulation, with the local, state, and federal levels. Hundreds of acres of land permitted with hundreds of thousands of square foot of manufacturing space really gives us the ability to scale and to really ramp up. But you know what? It goes way beyond just the assets that we have. It's the partnerships that we already have. Being developed and being a pioneer in the industry, we've been leading an industry. So we've been supplying what would maybe look to some to be a competitor have turned into be customers and partners, and having co-packers throughout the nation that we're able to work together. So we're going to take that model that we have in pioneering, and we're going to keep on accelerating through and expanding our operations through, organic, because we have the room to scale, but also to roll up an industry that is primed to come together and to take the wood waste that they've been handling, in the old methods of composting and doing it with the new method of the groundswell process. There is a major benefit because the cost difference.
Yeah, so it costs about a third of the cost to process material using the groundswell process that it would to process using a composting process. The cost it's cheaper to make it that way. But what you mentioned, having equipment is one thing. Having an efficient use of that equipment is quite another. Having a good operator and good machinery to collect and process, that makes all the world of difference. The ability to scale, there are economies that come with scaling. So that it's cheaper to do it when you can do it efficiently with the right equipment in the right place.
And if you take a look at through the process, how this works, it replaces the need for fertilizers. We just traveled around the country. I was just in Australia together, meeting with farmers that have thousands of acres of land where you can actually see their feedstock is happy. They're eating food that is healthy. And with humus soil, only 1 cubic yard per acre to grow food, that's amazing. And to be able to sit down and tangibly and be able to listen and the reactions of these companies and farmers that are saving a third of their cost, and they're able to get through a drought in a season because their ground has been restored. It's just incredible.
So healthy soil stores water. What wasn't known until we did the research we have was that healthy soil can actually be triggered to make water when it isn't raining, not just store it, but make it to make up for a lack of precipitation. So that piece has allowed farmers, in numerous countries now, in different circumstances, different crops, to use their own organic residue and maybe some from their neighbour and process that together and trigger the responses in a soil that make the soil fertile. It's, the black stuff in soil, that's actually stored nutrient. When we farm it, when we farm a piece of land and we use the resource that's in the soil to grow something, we actually deplete that black stuff. What we've learned is that you can use organic residues such as the wood waste to re-trigger the formation of that black stuff, the humus, which is the fertility of the soil. That gives that differential. So when people say, "Hey, we can move to an organic approach and we can reduce our fertilizer," that's what it means. To the extent that you can rebuild the soil, you can build the nutrient resource that's in a soil that comes naturally. To that extent you can do that, you can reduce your fertilizer exposure, your risk of price changes in fertilizer. You can reduce that if you can rebuild the soil. When it's dry, no other process that I'm aware of keeps that black stuff in the soil during a drought. We crossed a big bridge when we were able to keep the soil moist even when it's not raining.
So here you go. You take a revolutionary process that is a zero net carbon. And it is affordable, scalable, to be able to reach the mission and goal of 25% of the arable land across the globe. Like in the video, it doesn't matter whether you're left or you're right, everybody deserves to eat. And together, we understand this is a collaboration and partnerships, and we need the help. And we see there a major desire from governments, local municipalities, and other composters and recyclers that are catching on to what we are doing. Because now through our media outlet we have, the word is actually traveling quite fast. I mean, Ken, how many countries do you currently deal with at one given time that are interested?
We have a footprint in 7 countries, and we supply to many more. So the mechanism, our model is to license various areas, license to manufacture in various areas. In the US, we've licensed SGTM to manufacture and distribute in the market that's going to home garden, and to begin to manufacture at scale for other markets. So we have similar arrangements in a number of countries in China, in Southeast Asia, in Australia. So those mechanisms now, with the capacity that SGTM brings to the table, we can add, a service option to that. So we can say, okay, well, we can come to a place that doesn't have capacity. We can offer the mechanical and the distribution mechanisms that enable them to get started in their area. That's looking that we're really excited about that.
So it's an Australian-grown technology that we are now bringing to the US, so it can be a US-grown technology.
And we see it taking off. And there's hundreds of millions of acres of land that needs to be restored. And we have an opportunity to make a difference. And we've got the right team. We've got a mission and a purpose, and we're accomplishing that. And, and I believe we're having a lot of fun doing it too.
So lots of people hear numbers, but don't sort of grasp what that means. So if we're gonna really make an impact on a quarter of the world's arable land, that is hundreds of millions of acres. That rolls off your tongue. It's hundreds of millions of acres. Right now, that I'm aware of, the largest regenerative agriculture project in the USA covers about 200,000 acres. Hundreds of millions, 200,000. That's a lot of difference. The program that we've engaged with SGTM on now targets 4 million acres in the US within the next 12 months. So 4 million acres, 200,000 acres. That's a quantum jump. We think there's going to be 2 or 3 jumps of that nature. Already in other parts of the world, there are millions of acres engaged in this process of regenerative agriculture using our mechanisms. Nice and quiet, hasn't been up on, in the public, but it's coming to the surface now. With what we're doing in here, starting in Florida and in Washington State, where SGTM is located, and building to all the other states, I think we can target hundreds of millions of acres.
And right now, with us just increasing $80 million into catalysts into our inventory, and us building out these manufacturing sites to scale that, we actually have something that's tangible to accomplish this mission. The feedstock is there. The catalyst is there, and there's the desire to make a difference. So we've got a pretty good recipe going here.
Well, the theory is one thing, capacity is another. Lots of people have the will, lots of people have the desire, but not everybody has the capacity. So capacity means technology plus logistical capacity. Those two things have to be together.
So this is a whole lot to digest, but really what we're talking about is a disruptive technology that has capacity to make a worldwide difference.
Using a local, long-term, available feedstock that's been here all the time.
So if you like what you've heard and you want to learn more, I would recommend that you go to SGTM's YouTube page, because we have hundreds of videos and millions of views of showing our team in action, getting to understand who we are, what our mission is, And you can go on our website, and there'll be plenty of contact and a presentation that you can download. And we'd love to hear from you. And if you like this and something that you may want to invest in for the future, feel free to reach out to us, and we would be more than happy to do some Q&A, even separately, and meet with. And yeah, we appreciate the opportunity to present with everybody today.
Great job, everyone. We do have tons of questions for you, and we're going to send them to you personally so you can answer on your own time. And like they said, if you're interested in learning more and investing, there is the email right there. And I look forward to checking out your YouTube page as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Thrilling and such important work that you guys are doing. So thank you for all your work, and we're happy to help spread the message.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Okay, everyone. What a great conference we've had. So many different sectors across the world. We're so happy to be bringing this conference to you all. Now, no, in just a second, you're going to be redirected to the registration page for our next conference. Please stay on and reserve your spot early. On behalf of all of us at Emerging Growth, I want to thank all of our presenters, all of our attendees for making this such a great success. Remember that a complete replay of this conference will be on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Emerging Growth Conference. Please subscribe and follow us on Twitter at Emerging Growth C. We always post new information on Twitter first. I'm Anna Berry. On behalf of myself and our entire team here at Emerging Growth, we wish you a happy, healthy, and successful rest of your week. And we'll see you on again soon in December. Thank y'all for watching.